Alright, y'all. I know this isn't the typical cam that you guys usually get, but I just wanted to emphasize the way I move my hands when I do aim train. So obviously from today's episode, the title is How to Aim Train. And so what I want to show you guys is this map right here is so good for aim training. So let me just head out back here and I kind of show you around. So basically this map is called Mechanics. It's at the top. You can see it the top of my screen here. It says mechanics. Search that up on your search bar and you'll be good to go. So basically what this map is 99% aim trainer. You got your aim, your edits, your piece, your free builds. You can edit your guns, which isn't really relevant anymore. Here's all of your guns. You can switch to shotguns, to ARs, SMGs, to snipers, and then just the guns from this season. You can change your skin. That's usually just like the basics of the map. Um, you can change your crosshair if you wanted to get a new crosshair. I stick to the crosshair X crosshair because I already have a crosshair. You can change the colors on it. You can play some music if you want to. Here's all the music. You can change the volume of each individual thing as like menu, weapons, and music. View menu, here's like third person, and then that's first person. You can change the color of the targets that you shoot at. I prefer red just because I can see better with my right crosshair. Here's just like more music settings, and here's the good stuff here. So these are all my favorited maps. This is my aim routine that I go through every single day before I play. Here's all the aim stuff. Like, I mean, come on, guys. There's so much in this map. You got all your edits. 7 pages of edits. You got your piece controls. You got 5 pages of pieces. Tunneling. You got freaking 22 maps of tunneling. And then you could favorite your maps. And what I really like about this is you can actually track your progress. So let's go to something I suck at. And as you can see, like it fluctuates. These are probably from me being AFK and not actually. Oh, so these are probably from me being AFK and not actually playing, but like this is what it would look like. Let me show you something a little bit more accurate. No, I usually, okay, so the one I play the most is actually this one right here, so yeah. I mean, that one's probably AFK. This is probably, I don't even know what that is. Maybe trying to figure out a sensitivity, but I love how it shows your score on each dot if you shoot at it, and it shows your accuracy. Like I had pretty bad accuracy. These are like 90s, 91. My first ever time doing it was 93 accuracy, but I got 167, which is not good. But I mean, dude, there's so much stuff here. But that is not the factor of today's video. Today I do want to talk about how to properly aim train. And I know I've talked about it in my previous videos, but I actually wanted to come in here and show you the proper way to aim train. So I'm gonna turn that down so I can kind of talk while I aim train. So basically, we're going to play one wall, 6 targets. This is something that you would practice your shotgun aim with and not aim in. And so like obviously you see here like I can go decently. Okay, wait, let me lock it and then I'll show you. Okay, so you can kind of you get the ordeal. You can see that I go pretty fast, right? But when I aim train, that is not the point of going fast. It's the point. The point is to go at a pace that you're able to control. So like for example, you see these streamers and they're like, but that's normal to them. They can control that movement. And so my point here is when you start doing aim training maps, I want you to go as slow as doing this. And you know, it's okay if you can't even go this fast. Like some people have to even go like when they first start out. But what I want you to do is like even if targets are like all lined up like this, like I can go from here and here easily, and like these right here. Um, let me, Jesus. But that's kind of the more accuracy I was talking about. Kind of like it's pretty stable. I mean, I haven't gotten much better at it because I really haven't played that much. But um, what I kind of wanted to say is instead of like shooting like this, where like that's easy. Like challenge yourself. Go boom, 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 boom. Like even if these targets are right next to each other, I'm challenging myself to mix it up and like, because the whole point of this map isn't just to get the best score in the game. That is not the point of this map. The point of this map is to challenge your aim and get used to moving your mouse like naturally. And that's the whole point of this is like flicking with your shotgun and SMG aiming and flicking with your SMG. And then what's nice about this is then when you go into SMG aiming, you start to notice that what you're doing here also applies to tracking. So then you don't have to worry about tracking as much because you know how to flick onto people. And this the whole point of aim training, guys, is worrying about how far you have to move your mouse, and it's that simple. So what I want you to start off doing is worrying about your accuracy. So let's go to some of the first ones, like, like even though my first score was 167, my accuracy, I missed maybe a few shots, and that's really, really good. I did this at 5 in the morning. What the hell? Okay, well, anyways, but you kind of get the ordeal. And then when you're doing this tracking stuff, um, I just want you to, just focus on being smooth, focus on reacting whenever it moves. That's kind of like the whole point of these tracking things is like, obviously, this is not something you should be doing. Like you need to be with the flow, or this is something I see a lot of people doing, especially when they're starting out, is this. And they're kind of like I'm overemphasizing it, obviously, but like the very, very shaky, shaky. Um, this is something I can probably show you guys in the gliders. Is like when people are practicing their gliders, um, they're just like, like this, where like they're too shaky to even like hit a single shot. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, that's not something that's beneficial for us when we are aim training. This is something that, you know, it's really, really, really easy to work on if you get the hang of being smooth with your cursor. And that will get you very, 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 very good and consistent aim. Um, right now, obviously, it's not the greatest, but um, what, um, I lost my train of thought here, but basically where I'm going is these are the two sort of ways you learn how to aim train is consistency and being smooth and your reaction time. It all plays roles, and that is something that you practice in these kinds of aim trainers, and you will see progress instantly. Like even if my numbers obviously don't show. I mean, it looks pretty stagnant. It looks pretty stagnant um, in this chart, and uh, it looks stagnant, right? And I definitely feel like I improved from day one to now. So let's look at my score now. Like my accuracy is around the same, but I have 20 more scores. I have 20 more targets I hit, which is very, very, very good. Even though it only shows from here to here, it's such a big difference. And look at the gap in this. Like really this should be a lot more emphasized if I can hmm, what the oh yeah, I've definitely had a lot more trials than it showed on the thing. But I mean, yeah, we started here and now we're all the way up to here. So it definitely, aim training does definitely work, I promise. So that's really just it for this episode. I just kind of wanted to show you guys how to aim train correctly and how to actually see progress when you're aim training. So thank you guys so much for watching and see you guys next episode.